Welcome, students of Form 3. Today I'm going to talk about the sugar plantation, and as you can see, this video is meant for students of SKAIH Pre-Universitario or the pre-university, but I didn't invent it by myself. I was inspired by the CSEC program and especially the syllabus that you can find also on Google Classroom, but also on the CXC website if you go online. In my videos about the sugar plantation, and I have specified what it's mainly about. It's about describing, it's about explaining and identifying some topics concerning the sugar plantation. So those two are really important, describing, identifying, and explaining in depth. So not as short as you can, as minimal, but I want to see some answers, some writing of you people. Yeah, that's really important. We got to work on those. Back to cursor, mouse. Yes, thank you so much. Describing an organization of the typical sugar plantation. So we got to describe. This is really important. And not just an individual sugar plantation on Curacao, it's about the typical ones. With typical, we actually mean that each sugar plantation on different Caribbean islands or Curacao or Barbados or Jamaica was of course different because of the geography. Was it flat? Was it mountainous? What was the weather like? Was it close to the sea or not? But typically, mainly, on average, they all looked a bit the same. So that's why we say typical, actually. Yeah? So it's really important we pay attention to that. Okay. Let's look at the next one, the next sheet. The typical sugar plantation. The use of labor. Describe how the sugar crop was grown in the Caribbean in at least 8 correct phrases. Yes, and I do that because I want you to be motivated strongly to write and write. And 8 correct phrases, beginning with a capital, ending with a period, it isn't much. It really isn't. And it is what is expected of you. Describing is really putting it into words and writing. Let's look at the answer. Sugar crop was grown in the Caribbean. I refer back to the question. By irrigating the soil and waiting for the moment the ground is fertile. Planting means then just digging shallow holes. In these holes are put in, they put the stalks in, and some 15 months later, the canes will be ready to harvest, cut off, and be processed to make refined sugar out of it. Now the heaviest work would commence in a mill, that is dependent on wind. The juice would now be taken out of the sugar canes, and after this, the juice would be boiled, skimmed, and cooled. Brown crystals and molasses would remain. Yes? So, and of the brown crystals, refined sugar would be shipped to Europe, and from the molasses, rum would be made, and that would be brought to Europe, but also brought to Africa to trade for slaves. Yes? So I remind you, always begin your answer by referring back to the question, and these bigger words in my explanation are meant as keywords that have to be somewhere in your answer. I hope you found this helpful and have a nice week, because when I'm recording this, it's Easter break. I hope you had a good Viernes Santo and enjoy your time off. I will see you